And I got real sick, like laid up on their couch, like right after I did the show. And I remember, bro, this dude's wife came out. She went like old Africa roots on me. She put some shit in a yarn sock. And you know, it was all kind of aromatics and shit in there, and then put some balm on my neck and rolled that bitch up and put it behind my neck. And I just felt so cared for. And I was like, this or nothing. Cause I need that. Like I need to feel cared. You know, I don't want to be with nobody and feel like I'm by myself. Welcome back, BS with Brian Simpson. I think this is episode 57.
This is 61, Brian.
61, yeah. If you got any questions, comments, concerns, you can email us at BSwithBrianSimpson@gmail.com. You got tickets to my tour, you can go to BrianSimpsonComedy.com, or you can go to Linktree/BSComedian. Also, come check out my show, Bottom of the Barrel, every Tuesday at the Comedy Mothership here in Austin, Texas. Also, if you want to leave us a voicemail, you can call us at 323-451-1980. If you really want to support the podcast, buy some shit from one of the sponsors, spread the word, go to another platform and play the motherfucker on mute, whatever, you know. Any way you can. All that stuff helps, you know. I was just coming off a daggone cold or something. Because we were talking about this, Rob, like people forget like that because it used to be, you know, not that long ago that if you tested negative for COVID, people were like, oh, thank God. Right? But now, for me anyway, it's more worrisome because it's like, please be COVID. You know, at least that's a known. Because it's almost like the world has forgotten that it's other diseases. It's like you sneeze and people are like, that's that COVID. It's like, no, it's actually probably more likely to be some other shit. You know, the flu has entered the chat. That shit ain't no joke still. You know, the flu ain't no joke.
Tons of people every year.
Yeah, no bullshit. It's a reason why, like, hey, bro, listen. Like I said, you've heard me say time and again on the pod that I understand people that are skeptical of the COVID vaccines and the, you know, various levels of trust in the government and all that, because and I blame the government for that mostly. Mm-hmm. Because they have given people reason time and time again to believe that they don't trust them. You know? I mean, just in this pandemic, I mean, the same politicians that was shutting shit down was having parties. Right. You know? So it's like you can't blame people for looking at that going, what the fuck? So, but when you take it to the next level and go, I don't trust no vaccines. See, I'm not with you on that. I'm not with you on that. The shit's been proven. You know, it's the reason why we don't have diphtheria out here. You know?
Yeah.
And what's the shit that puts you in the iron lung? Goddamn polio out here. You know, that Tdap vaccine, that's out here. You need to go on here and grab that. That flu vaccine, I'm grabbing that too. I need that on me because I hate being sick, bro. I'm a whole bitch when I'm sick. And they say men are softer when we sick than women are. And I believe that because I think there's a certain amount of suffering that women just walk around with, like their baseline suffering. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like because every month they be on their period. Can you imagine being sick and on your period?
Oh God.
Bow, 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 bow. Fuck that. No, I really can't imagine it. Oh man, I'm so glad I'm a man. So actually, I probably should have saved that for our guests.
I'm sure you can bring it up again.
But yeah, I'm on the tail end, and I was telling Rob, I think whenever I'm sick, I feel like the worst part is when there's a cough, like a bad cough, especially like a non-productive cough. You know what that means? It's like a cough where nothing comes out. Yeah, a dry cough. Because that means, because you're coughing because your body's trying to expel some shit from your airway. And if you cough and nothing come up, that means that was a waste of pain and everything. And so what I hate is a painful cough that coincide with some other aches, especially a headache. So if I have a real bad headache, like a real bad migraine and a cough, and so every time I cough, my head hurts. That shit make me want to die, bro. Like, I will take anything to make that stop. Like, whatever the fuck. And one time, so this happened when I recorded my half hour for Netflix. I was traveling a lot, running it, right? And I was in Kansas City, and that's exactly what happened. I had a cough and a headache. And I wanted it to go away so bad because I was just fucking out of it. I went into the store. It wasn't COVID. I went into the store. I think it was just a real bad sinus infection or upper respiratory. I don't know what the fuck. Mm-hmm. But I went into this pharmacy there, and I bought. I just like, give me this, and that. And I was just taking shit, like, please, just anything to make this shit stop. And I fell asleep, and I woke up, and the headache was gone. And I get halfway. I start walking to the club for the show. I get halfway to the club, and I take a sip of my juice, and like 3 seconds later, like I could feel like I don't know if it's acid reflux or whatever. The acid came up from my stomach. So basically, what had happened is, long story short, I figured out that I had taken medicines that you shouldn't take together, and it made my stomach super acidic. So anything hit my stomach, like if I swallowed spit, it would make acid come up in my throat, which would make me cough. Oh man, it was one of the worst shows I'd ever. I mean, I powered through that motherfucker. I should have just quit. But I did the whole show. So if you watch my half hour, like some of the people on TikTok, like when I posted clips from it on TikTok, people were saying I sound like Busta Rhymes and shit. But that was just at that time, my voice was just that raspy because I had fried my fucking throat the week, like 2 weeks before. So anyway, I hate being that kind of sick. And like I was saying, I hate it when it's not COVID because that means, because also the other side of it too is like, if it's not COVID, nobody cares. Like, people are like, oh, you sick? Yeah, what is it? Is it COVID? No, it's not COVID. Oh, okay, then what you want to do then?
Who cares?
Right, I mean, yeah, stay home and everything, but like, we're not afraid for you because it hurt just as bad. In fact, I only caught COVID officially once. I think I caught it twice, though. And the first time was the scariest one. But even that still didn't compare to, like, the worst flu I ever got.
Right.
Man, I'm telling you, bro, the flu put me down, bro. The flu put me down. Like, I understand how that shit was killing people in the early 19s.
I'm pathetic when it comes to getting sick. I'm such a baby. I have a very, very low pain tolerance, and I don't like headaches. If I have a headache or if I'm tired or something like that, I just can't do anything. And it'll take me out for like an entire week. So I do everything I can not to get sick.
Bro, to me, that's a true test of whether somebody is a worthy partner for marriage. It's like, how they act when I get sick. Cause I'm not proposing until I get sick. I'm not proposing because I need to know, how you gonna respond when I'm laid the fuck up? Because I need to know, what I'm saying. You could hook up some soup, but I'll put it like this, bro. One time, I had a gig when I was starting out. I had a gig with the homie Connor, and I made it to their house, and I got real sick, and so I was crashing at their house. It was one of them situations where like the producer of the show would let me crash at their house so I could come down and do the show, right? And I got real sick, like laid up on their couch, like right after I did the show. And I remember, bro, this dude's wife came out and she went like old Africa roots on me. She put some shit in a yarn sock. And and you know, it was all kind of aromatics and shit in there, and then put some balm on my neck and rolled that bitch up and put it behind my neck, and I just felt so cared for, and I was like, this or nothing. This or nothing. Because I don't know what she did, but I'm like, you better learn. You better learn. Because I need that. Like, I need to feel cared. You know, I don't want to be with nobody and feel like I'm by myself.
Well, I was asking my brother about that because I was asking about the NAD thing, the NAD Plus or whatever.
Okay, yeah.
And he was saying a lot of the evidence shows that one of the most important aspects of it is just having somebody come to your house and have you feel cared for. That is one of the most powerful aspects of it. So even if they just put in saline in your veins, you know, you will get a benefit from that because you get a psychological benefit from feeling like somebody cares about your pain is trying to help you out.
Well, speaking of asking siblings that know more shit than you, I think my sister has joined the chat. Are you here?
Yes, I'm here.
Hey, Raven, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm outstanding.
Thanks for having me.
You got on your white lady work voice?
I guess so, yes. This is my microphone voice.
You're sorry to bother you
right.
voice?
Sorry to no. Yes, we're just talking about being. I just got over what was probably a cold or something, but I had a nurse come and give me a IV hydration thing, and man, that's worth every damn penny. Like he said, I think just the idea of having somebody come and care for you is one thing.
Well, you know, your twin, my son, which I think is your child, was sick last month, and he had a bad throat infection that turned into an eye infection.
Oh no, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and I nursed him back to health, but then he just got lazy and wasn't, you know, I was like, hey, you got to clean up after yourself. Like, pick up the stuff in your room, dust, you know, wash your hands. And I said, if you get sick again, I'm not taking care of you. And it may be worse the next time, to like scare him back into, you know, being more cautious.
You got to learn.
Yeah. Yeah. I was like, you know, you got to wash your hands more often. It was a virus going through the school. Keep washing your hands, use hand sanitizer. Like, this isn't over with. So I had to threaten him that way. I was like, I'm not going to take care of you if you get sick again. You're going to be on your own. And so he was like, oh, and yep.
Yeah, keep it on me. Keep it on me. Because, but when you young, you can recover. I mean, I don't know. Because I don't remember what I was like. I don't remember what I was like at that age. How old is, let's not say his name on the air. Let's call him
15.
Son number 2. 15. Yeah, I do remember what I was like. I was stubborn as hell. Yeah,
I remember when I was 15, I could bounce back so easily, and I would be sick for like 24 hours, but I was such a puss about it every single time.
Well, what made this worse is he hasn't been sick since he was like 3 or 5.
Oh, wow.
Damn. So for him, it was like, what the heck is this? What is this thing? Why am I sick? What is going on? Why, so it was a lot for him just to be sick, period. But to be sick for a whole week was another thing. For him. So it was a lot for him.
What's the move when he gets sick? What's the game plan?
Rest and fluids. He doesn't get sick often. Yeah, I know. He doesn't get sick often. Like I said, he hasn't been sick since he was 3 or 5. So, not much to do there.
Is that your only kid?
No, I have 2.
No, we have 2, yeah.
Yeah, the older one doesn't get sick often much either.
Oh my God, these people with their powerful immune systems.
I know.
Like, I got sick multiple times a year for every year of my life.
Oh no! See, that just started for me. I usually don't. I usually get sick maybe once a year, but now that I travel so much, it's like sometimes, man, it could be back to back to back.
Yeah.
And then on top of that shit, because what's so wild is I thought I was sick this time around, and the nurse that was doing my IV, she's also an ER nurse. Mm-hmm. And so she was saying that she didn't see a lot of COVID in the ER. She saw a lot of strep, which I didn't have. But she said it could also be cedar fever. So apparently in Austin, Texas, this is the cedar capital of the country, right? And when these cedar trees start throwing sperm in the air with pollen, I mean, it's like even if you,
No, you're
even if
right.
you have, because I don't have
Same
any.
difference.
My last allergy test, they said the only thing I was allergic to was roaches, and just a little, just slightly. So I have no allergies, but they say even people that have no history of allergies, if you come to Austin, Texas, that's the cedar gonna fuck you up, and it feels like the flu. I'm like, oh man, that might be what this is then, because I was like, what are we talking about here? I've never bought no Benadryl or, I got some Allegra though. I keep the Allegra on me now, because I can't cancel stuff. That's the one thing that sucks about being a comic is like, you can't really cancel stuff,
So you don't take airborne before you go somewhere?
No, I mean I get the vitamin C. That's just vitamin C, right?
No, I think it has zinc in it.
It's got zinc and magnesium and potassium
need the zinc.
and vitamin C.
Vitamin C is not enough. You need the zinc.
Yeah, I do. No, I usually see maybe I'm doing it backwards. I usually do it when I get back.
You need to do it beforehand to prep your body for all the viruses that you're going to take in while you're on the trip.
Also, those Zicam things, although you're not supposed to overuse those, but the Zicam can work if like you're gonna be traveling internationally or something. You're like, I cannot get sick.
See, I feel like
Zicam.
I feel like it would just help me if I could threaten the nasty motherfuckers that I would encounter along the way. Like, look, I posted a photo of a dude, and I ain't show his face and nothing like that, but it was a dude sitting across catacorner from me with his bare feet on the wall,
In the plane?
On the plane, yeah. Like he was in the front row of first class with his feet on the wall. And I'm shocked at how many people don't have a problem with it.
I got something worse than that for you.
What?
On the way back from a conference in Vegas, sitting next to a dude, I woke up because we landed, pulled his pants up.
What?
Wait a minute,
He pulled his pants up. I don't know what he was doing. I don't know. We had blankets over us, but he pulled his pants up, and I was like, "Ew."
Was this a fat guy?
No, doesn't
Chubby
matter.
guy?
No.
Yeah, because what I will say is sometimes as a bigger guy, sometimes to get comfortable, you gotta loosen your belt. That's all I'm saying. I'm not.
You can loosen your belt, but you don't need to take your pants all the way off from your behind to your thighs.
Okay, yeah, that's facts. That's facts. But I'm just saying, sometimes as a bigger guy.
So note to people,
wear some joggers, wear some sweatpants. Don't be taking your pants off on a plane.
You don't know what you're sitting on when you sit down.
You can't just be out here wearing sweatpants in public. You know what I'm saying? You gotta get your wife's permission for that. Today's episode is brought to you by DISPLATE. We're all tired of that artwork from Hobby Lobby with wine o'clock written on it and a black and white sketch of the Eiffel Tower or that eat, pray, love bullshit. DISPLATEs are high-quality metal prints that come in millions of cool designs. That's easy to hang and swap out anytime with this magnet that comes with every DISPLATE you purchase. They're talking about this here, this magnet's on the back. But you just slap them on the wall. You slap this on the wall. It's that easy. I personally love them. I have like 7 of them in my house. And since I'm renting the house and I can't put holes in the wall, it just makes it fucking hella easy. And I don't have to worry about that bullshit. And people can't tell the difference. It all looks cool. No matter what you're into, there's a DISPLATE for you. Check out their Rick and Morty collection or art from Peaky Blinders or Resident Evil Village. Click the link in my description to see some of my favorite DISPLATEs and get my special discount. Get 1 or 2 DISPLATEs at 27% off and 34% off when you buy 3 or more. Discounts be automatically applied to your cart.
Discounts be automatically applied.
It says verbatim.
Yep, verbatim. Discounts be automatically applied.
Discounts be automatically applied to your cart. Use code BS when you visit DISPLATE.com to get the discount. That's DISPLATE.com, code BS, or click the link in our show notes. Gift yourself or someone you love unique art with DISPLATE. You know what I mean? You can't just be wearing sweatpants. That's basically the equivalent of a woman getting on a plane in yoga pants. Or I don't know. I don't even know.
I
what
see that all the time.
Yeah,
I see that every single airplane I take.
Yeah, I had yoga pants on, but I didn't pull them off.
Well, that's true. That's true. Yeah, you're right. All right. Well, let's. Speaking of, okay, this is a good segue. The first article we have in the queue is plastic particles can alter sex hormones. Amid rising evidence that additives designed to improve plastics also disrupt sex hormones, a Rutgers laboratory trial shows that plastic itself can do likewise when inhaled at moderate levels. Previous studies focused on chemicals such as bisphenol A that make plastics stiffer or more flexible. These findings spurred ongoing efforts to find safer plastic additives. The Rutgers study showed that microscale and nanoscale particles of blah, 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 blah. The disruption of sex hormones delivered by the endocrine system could help explain health issues such as increasing obesity and declining fertility. Didn't I see a lady say this recently about how microplastics were causing people's tanks to shrink? Did we talk about this before?
That was a story that we talked about at one point. We might have actually talked about it on the Josh Potter show. I'm not sure about that. That might have been back when you were on the Josh Potter show.
Yeah, but what do they want us to do about this? It's too late. This stuff, it's in everything. You can't. It's in the water. It's in the fish. So if you want to eat healthy and eat fish, you still exposed to it. You know what I'm saying? It's in the water, so it's in the grass. It's in the grass, so it's in the cows. Yeah, I mean we talk about this often. Raven, I know you listen to the pod a lot. You know,
yep.
I tried to fight my cynicism, but I mean, come on, guys. This
but
is
I'm
a
with
wrap.
you. It's everywhere. It's already, the damage is done.
Yeah, it's like
you
the
can't
solution
clean it
to this
up.
is what? That we all do the right thing or something?
Well, that you stop keep doing it. Stop, doing it over and over again, so that hopefully generations, fifth generations from now.
That's not gonna happen.
I know.
I mean, just Japan alone with the plastic. Have you ever bought something from Japan?
Oh my God! Each apple is individually wrapped and then put in a bag, and then those bags are put in another bag.
10 feet of plastic. It's like, bro, we're not gonna. I just don't think we're gonna do anything about this. I mean, we just gonna have to learn how to digest plastic.
Well, I tell people all the time, that drink bottled water and live by bottled water. I was like, no, you're just drinking plastic. Mm-hmm. And they're like, what do you mean? I was like, I'd rather take the water from tap any day from the bottled water, because especially if it's on the summertime, it's like it's been sitting in your car hot. You don't know how long it's been in the bottle anyway. It's probably got plastic in it. And they're like, oh, I didn't think of it that way.
Yeah.
Especially the cheap ass plastic that's in a disposable bottle of water.
Yeah.
I mean, they make some Nalgene stuff, will be less plastic, although it still puts plastic in everything you drink. You need stainless steel or glass or Pyrex.
Well, also the bottle water is just tap water anyway. That's a whole other crime that's been perpetuated against us. Is that these companies somehow have talked the local municipalities into letting them bottle up our local water and sell it to us at 15 times the price, which is, that's a whole other thing.
In New York City, if you go to a bodega, they have the cartons of water that are New York City water, and it's literally the water that comes out of the tap.
Wow.
In the same place where you're buying the box of water.
Speaking of which, and I don't know if this fun fact has been brought up on the pod before, but New York City water actually, how people talk about how the pizza in New York is different and all of this? Well, the water that they make the dough with, the New York City water actually has little mini crustaceans in it that are supposed to kill mosquito larvae. So the water from New York does actually taste different. It is actually different, which is why your dough will come out different if you make bread with some other water, even if you use your grandmama's recipe from the back in the day. So that's why like there's pizza shops around the U.S. that import water from New York to make their pizza dough. Because it actually does taste
highly skeptical.
I can believe that.
I can believe it, but yeah, go ahead, Raven.
Well, the reason why I say that is because being from Detroit, the water up there is a lot harder than it is in Maryland. And being that my parents are from Alabama, it's just a difference in the water.
Yeah, look, New York City's water contains tiny shrimp called copepods. These microscopic crustaceans are not actually harmful at all and are instead used to clear the water of mosquito larvae.
Well, there you go.
Yeah,
where's that from?
That is from New York City Food Policy. 10 facts you may not know about New York City drinking water. Also, there's one from Time Magazine. Drink up New York City. Meet the tiny crustaceans that are not kosher in your water. So yeah, I remember.
What else is in their water?
So apparently the water is not kosher, and that created some kind of beef with the local Hasidic community.
Oh, because it's got crustaceans in it.
Yeah, it's not kosher.
Right, no shellfish
wow.
in it. Yeah. Which is, maybe that's part of, never mind, I'm not going to go there. It's so easy to make a 9/11 joke, and, there's no reason to go there. It's so juvenile.
Wait, what would be well, now I need to know what this joke was because I have no idea what the line was going to be.
Because Muslims can't eat crustaceans either, right? They can't eat shellfish.
Correct.
Yeah, so I was just going to...
That would be haram.
Right, yeah. But, like I said, it's no reason to go there. That's such an easy joke to make. Who tagged me in the post? Okay, all right. So, let me see here.
So you're saying it's them little bugs make the bugs in the water make the pizza better?
I think the little bugs in the water make the pizza different. Unfortunately, I was very aware of my lactose intolerance by the time I got to visit New York City. So I'm not the one to tell you to compare the pizzas to tell you which one is the best pizza. I mean, there's people that'll fucking literally fight you about it, and I just don't know enough to make a strong argument either way.
I know that the Food Lab did. I mean, at this point, it's like kind of hack for food blogs and stuff to do the water. Does New York City water make the dough better or whatever? And most of what I've seen has been, it makes it different, but any water makes it different. And the notion that the New York water makes the dough better is a matter of preference. But anyway, let's move on.
Moving on. This article is sort of connected. Man dies after penis enhancement surgery goes wrong. Which is why he probably needed it because of his shortened taint, because of the plastics. See what's going on? It's killing people.
Although there was an article that I don't think we went over on this podcast, but apparently pollution is making penises bigger.
Man. Well, then if that's...
we'll do this article. I'll pull up the other one.
We need to bury that article because if that's the case, then we're never going to stop it. A Swedish man died after suffering complications during a penis enhancement surgery, according to a recently published case report. The 30-year-old, relatively healthy patient wanted a penile elongation and girth enhancement surgery, which includes transferring fat from one area of the body and replacing it in the penis. Surgeons finished the elongation part of the procedure and were in the process of injecting the patient with transferred fat when the man started experiencing complications. The man's heart began to race and his blood pressure dropped abnormally low. According to the report, the patient, who did not have a prior heart condition, went into a cardiac arrest and died a little over an hour later. An autopsy later concluded that the patient died from pulmonary fat embolism. When fat traveled the bloodstream to his lung and ruptured blood vessels. Doctors believe this is the first case where a seemingly simple and safe procedure of penis enlargement by autologous fat transfer caused sudden death in a healthy young man, according to the report. Mayo Clinic urologist...
Autologous just means that it's its own fat.
Yeah. It's a completely useless procedure that never works and disfigures men and could kill you. Well, there you go. This is the worst case. This is the worst case. Circumcision is a common surgery, but what of the ethics? Well, yeah, I mean, guys, listen. You got what you got. You got what you got. Of course it doesn't work. That's why nobody does it. If penis enhancement worked, men would be doing it the way women do breast enhancements. You know what I'm saying? Right. It's almost expected. Women with little titties, if they come across a little bit of bread, the next time I see them, I expect them to have new titties. You know what I'm saying? You hit the lottery, you go through a divorce, you get a big promotion, you become the CEO, and you're not happy with your titties. The next time I see you, I expect you to have some new titties. You know, I don't know no dudes that got new penises. Every time I see a dude come up, because if what I'm saying is if it worked, dudes would be doing it even when they couldn't afford it.
Right.
Right. Like hair transplants.
Yeah, they would be saving
But here's
up.
Here's the difference though. Breasts aren't like part of, they're not part of a vital part of bodily function. Right?
True.
So you can get away with having something wrong with your breast or your breast, that goes wrong. Okay. And you can still live. But a penis malfunction apparently can go wrong very fast and you'll die from it. So that's something I don't think people should be messing with. And the key words in that article was relatively healthy. What does that mean? And where did you pull the fat from? That's what I would want to know.
They didn't say where the fat was coming from. That's true.
Where does the fat come from?
I mean, maybe it's like a Brazilian butt lift where they just take it from wherever like it's a 2 for 1. Like you don't like you get a little out of your belly fat, they put it in your penis.
I do want to take issue with one part of this article. She says this is the worst case scenario where the guy died under the knife. I disagree with that. I don't think that's the worst case scenario. I think that
you think the worst case scenario is him coming back with a littler dick,
or no dick
like that, Rob. Or no dick?
Or no dick.
You said you'd rather be dead?
Or I'd rather be dead than have a dick that looks like a dog chewed it up.
Yeah, because it's not because Raven's right. If the breast thing go wrong, that's like a haircut. Like they fuck your haircut up, you can just go, okay, shave it bald till next time. If they if they fuck up your titty implants, you can just be like, okay, no titties until next time. No, that's not true. Okay, some analogies just fall apart, mid construction. But y'all get what I'm trying to say. There's no second try if they mess.
There's no waste coming out of your breast. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So
right. Women can have double mastectomy for because they have was it BRCA or whatever, and you can have breast reconstruction. You can just worry about it. But
there's no waste coming out of your breast. Like you have to to urinate. You have to urinate. So if you don't have a penis, how you gonna urinate?
Ooh.
I mean,
I don't know if it's worth it. I don't know if it's worth it.
I mean, you can have a bag, but nobody wants that.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. In some ways, that could be worse than death, depending on what your life is like. I mean, I guess some people would choose to live, but not me.
Because unless you have a micro penis, I don't see how it's worth the risk.
And I don't think that if you have a micro penis that this works because there's nothing to work with,
Yeah, I mean, you better off like getting some kind of contraption attached. You know what I'm saying?
Just love yourself. Jeez, what is wrong with people?
Well, you can't love yourself if you got a micro penis, Raven.
Yes, you can. Get some toothpicks or something. I don't know. Use your little hands, the fingers.
Or something.
Rub them together.
Maybe they got some kind of invention, some kind of mini, suction thing.
People are doing too much. People are getting their legs, extended, and it's just ridiculous.
Oh, that shit's wild.
But what I'm saying is
wild to me.
The extreme of it, though, like, because if you have a micro penis, I can almost guarantee that you're single, because that's one of those things that even having a lot of money doesn't make up for. You know, like I'm 5'6". Most women put in their Tinder bio, they looking for somebody that's 6 foot. But I'm a successful comedian, so I don't have to be 6 foot. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
But if you got a micro penis, you can't. There's not another trait you can have that people can, be like, okay, well I overlook. No, that's one of them things that as soon as it becomes, because that's one of them things too. Is like you can't just leave. You can't tell people that off the top.
Okay, so here's the thing.
That's not first date disclosure, is it?
Let's say the surgery is successful. Now you have a big penis, but now you have no feeling.
Yeah,
or now you're a 10-second man. Now you're a 10-second man.
Let's just say you do have a feeling. Let's say it works perfectly, and you have a big. You go from micro penis to big penis. But guess what? You still not that. You still not the big penis. Like you don't. Right. There's a personality that comes along with growing up with a substantial penis. You don't just, and they can't give you that in a surgery. Now you just an actor. And
you don't know what you're doing with it. It's just sloppy.
Brian's like a turf, but for penis size.
No,
He's like, I don't care what surgeries you get. Genetically, you are not a big dick man.
Well, you can't, but you don't have the swag to match. Because it was a term that became popularized, a few years ago. Big dick energy. And little, right? And it's like, and you can have a big penis and not have big dick energy.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm saying. It's like they can give you the penis, but it's gonna be the only way you're gonna get somebody to look at it is if you just whip it out, because your swag is not gonna lead you to the point where somebody wants to see it.
Yep. You are right. So it's more to it than that.
Yeah, maybe if it came with a class on how to handle, like maybe you.
And you're the professor, Brian. You're the professor.
There's like a PowerPoint type deal, No, I had to give the medium class.
I mean, I kind of disagree with the notion. I think that if you have a micro penis, then the surgery is not going to help you. But there's plenty of people who are either impotent or have a micropenis for whatever reason they can't use that, or maybe they were injured, right? They had a catastrophic injury. They still have relationships. They can still have children. They can still live full lives. I'm just saying that if you're a guy going under, like, if you're a 30-year-old guy and you have a micropenis, you've had a micropenis your entire life, right? So hopefully you have worked past that and you can live a healthy, happy life. If you're 30 years, I think, come on, man.
No, man.
Or find somebody with a small vagina. There's people out there with.
That's like you going. That's like you being a little person. You're a dwarf. There's no getting past it. But it's your whole identity.
I personally know people who are dwarves who are like past it, who like live full lives. Who are past
what? They not past the line where they can get on a roller coaster.
Oh, jeez.
No.
I'm talking about. So, okay, wait, but I don't want to lose this part. The thing that I'm getting at is like if you okay, so it's like being 5'6", right? You've always been 5'6". It wasn't like you were living at 6 feet tall and then you lost 6 inches in height. So for you, you've internalized that. You know where you stand literally with that, right? So what I'm getting at with the 30-year-old, like this 30-year-old guy, let's assume he had like a small dick, but it was like, he was like 3 inches or something, or 3.5 inches or something. He grew up with that, and he developed some sort of complex.
No, Rob, see, that's where you're losing me. 3.5 inches is not a micro penis. That's just a small penis.
I know, but we're talking about this guy. I'm saying somebody who has a micro penis, I think, can psychologically get past that and live a full, healthy life. But
see, I agree with you if we're talking about a small penis. But a micro penis is literally like a little bigger than a belly button. You can't even penetrate with that, And that is something that you can't get past because, like I said, even something like being a dwarf is like there are still other things you can achieve that's going to compensate for that. Because, everyone sees that you're a dwarf, but you can have charisma, you can be charming, you can be good looking, you can have money, you can have success, prestige, and all of that kind of makes up for it, But having a micropenis is a full stop. That's going there's very few women that's going to accept that. Like it's no matter what the fuck they say, I love you. No matter what, as soon as they see that thing, it's going to be an issue. And maybe I'm wrong. Raven, this is why we have you on the pod, because oftentimes I assume what women would think, but we've never had a woman. Have we ever had a woman be a guest?
No.
Maybe once. Maybe, right? An earlier episode?
Nope. Not since I've been on.
Okay, yeah. So we've never had a woman be a guest. So maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm making a lot of assumptions, because all I can go off is the women in my life that I know.
So Brian, I just Googled Reddit. I have a micropenis AMA, which is the best way to learn about anything. And what's interesting is this guy, apparently, it does bother him. It thinks about it every single day. It has basically ruined his life. But there are other instances where people who have micropenises have a wife and kids and seem to be living a very normal, a very normal life. So I think there is hope for people who can psychologically come to grips with that. What I was getting at was there is a difference between being born with a certain congenital defect or disability versus growing up your entire life, reaching adulthood, going under the knife to fix, quote unquote, something that you think is deficient in yourself, and then you wake up and you're even worse off, right? So you have a small dick, not a micropenis, but a small dick. You go under the knife to make it bigger, and then you wake up and you're like, hey, sorry, we cut the nerve that gives you a boner, so you'll never get an erection again for the rest of your life.
I
that
agree.
To me would be worse.
Yeah, that's like you made a wish on a monkey's paw.
I agree.
What if now, how many men do you think would have, because a lot of this is like men feeling emasculated by other men, not necessarily by women, right? What do you think the percentage of men who would get, what do you think the percentage is of men who would get a surgery with a risk of complications like this just to make it look bigger when it's soft? I'm not even talking about like fight and weight.
I think a lot of people would, a lot of guys would, because if they're going out here getting leg extensions, if they're getting weaves, if they're getting injections of muscles, fake muscles, I put nothing past people, unfortunately. Brian?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree. I think that that when it comes to your self-esteem and it comes to your self-image, yeah, I think there's always somebody that'll do it. I don't know. I don't know if it would be a widespread problem among men, because like I've saw the type of men you're talking about where they get I forget what the chemical is. They get it injected into their muscles, and it makes the muscle look bigger, but it's not actually stronger. It's just water or some kind of liquid.
Right.
Yeah, but the vast majority of men laugh at those men. Like that's not even useful. It's like you look big for no reason. But if there was something that you could, because here's the other thing: men in general are very protective of our genitals. It's the reason why there's been plenty of studies on like male birth control pills and stuff like that, but they always have negative effects. that men aren't with, that they make you lose your hair, or they, affect your erections and all that. And so men aren't willing to take risks. If the risk is something negative with our penises, we probably ain't gonna take it. Like Viagra can make you go blind, but we still take those because we're like, oh well, yeah, but I could fuck better, so that's worth it. But if anything that's with a side effect is a negative thing on our penis, most men are like, no, that's not worth it. That's why those male birth control pills will never come to market. It's like if the effect is a negative thing on your penis, it's just not it ain't gonna make money in America, for sure.
Isn't stem cells being injected in the penis rising though, just so you can be 100% yourself?
I didn't hear nothing about that, but I
have heard of the stem cells being injected into penises. Yes.
Yeah.
I don't think it works.
Is there some company in Texas that does it? Because I just want to look it up just for my research.
UFC fighter Trigger Shane got it done.
Oh yeah, and what did he say?
He said it was the most him he's ever been.
The most me that I've ever been. Okay. But then he
What
loses.
does that mean, though? Does that mean the most him in his teenage years, the most him in his 20? Like, what does that mean?
He was getting gender affirming care that made him feel like he was a big man.
Right. Well, I like
and so the thing is, like, is it really true? Or is that just in your mind? So like, I would like to talk to the female. Like, is it really the best him? You know what I mean?
No, but that's the thing though, Raven, is it is him in his mind, and I think that affects his swagger, that affects his confidence. Where it's like because it didn't come from nowhere. It's like because there are times where naturally he's that, right? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But it's few and far in between. Like you wake up, you having a good dick day, and I'm sure your significant other could tell. Because you walking around with a little extra something on the way you talking, the way you walking, the way you moving. Because I'll put it like this. I think there's an underlying confidence when a man feels like I could pull my dick out right now, no matter who was in this room, right? There's that sort of unspoken thing, and men don't have it. Men don't have it usually. It's just, but every now and then you wake up, it's like a good hair day. You're having a good dick day, and you feel that way. And to have that feeling all the time, that might be worth the risk. Now I don't know not about the downside, but to have a good dick day every day, now we have to have a conversation at least. How much did he say how much it costs?
No, but I think he got it in Panama.
Oh, well, see,
it's called the P shot.
See, that's where you lose me. I'm not going
What's
to
the
another
side
country
effects
to
of
get
the
a dick
P
shot.
shot?
Oh, there's plenty.
Let's see here. What
I
are
mean,
they?
anytime you're sticking needles in your dick, you're running certain risks, right? You can rupture the cavernosa. There's various things that can happen. So that's the first thing. You can also get an infection in your penis.
Yeah. No. But what's the side effect of the shot itself? You talking about the side effect of shots, but what's the side effect of getting this specific one?
Well, so what they do is they take your plasma, and they extract blood, take the plasma out, and then inject the plasma back into your penis. So there's not a ton of risk from that because it's your own plasma.
But where the stem cells coming from?
I haven't seen the one where it's actually stem cells. They call it stem cells, but it's because they're using. That's the ones that I've seen. That's like advertising gimmick, because they're saying like, oh, it's your own. It's your own plasma, because
it's plasma, which is basically just your blood with the water removed, right?
Yeah.
So because it's plasma, how does that make your penis bigger? It doesn't make your penis bigger, but it makes
it allows the chambers.
It makes
to
your
fully...
soft penis bigger. You basically at your walking around weight.
Well, I want to know if this was done with a blind study with people who thought they were getting injected with plasma and they weren't, and it was just like, water or what have you, and see how they felt. If you know what I mean?
There hasn't been. There's only been studies in rats in mice, and the studies were done to test whether injecting what's called like platelet-rich plasma into penises with nerve damage. So again, we have like this distinction where it's like there's an injury, and whether the injection can help you recover from an injury is different from whether if you take a healthy person and inject them with the same stuff, whether that will like enhance you in any way. And there's not really any evidence that injecting platelet-rich plasma into a otherwise healthy dick is going to make it bigger.
Because it could be the placebo effect.
Yeah. Which I think that I would hazard a guess that the vast, vast majority, if not 100% of the people who have like positive results from the P shot it's placebo effect. It makes them feel better.
Okay, but we're dancing around the main point here, y'all.
Okay.
What's the main
Rob,
point?
the question
Break it down.
If you knew that it was safe and effective, you getting the shot. Correct? No, actually, no. Let me make it even harder. If you knew it was a 10% risk, but 90% chance it would be effective, you still taking that shot.
Oh yeah, I think people would get it. Yes.
You wouldn't?
No.
Wait a minute. So okay.
Okay, but I mean, but the difference is that I'm married and I have a good sex life, so I don't need to mess around with anything.
No. You'll get I'm married my way out of this because
why not?
Because that has nothing to do with.
Actually, it does, Brian.
I mean, look, I've never been married.
I know.
Okay, I've only lived with one woman. I've only actually like lived with one time, but I can't imagine.
So if he was married miserably, and hadn't had sex in like 5 years, and he's still married, then he'd probably be like, okay, yeah, I'll go get that shot.
Yes. But right, I mean.
See,
I don't even like. I mean, I buy the same pair of shoes when they wear out, right? Because I know how they feel on my feet.
So are you saying I'm married because you mean to say that you don't feel like you need to do anything more to impress your wife? Is that what you're saying? Like you're saying I'm married, so I don't have to do no peacock.
No. I mean, that's part of it, but it's like, I mean, not to go too deep into it, but we have a good sex life, and adding an extra inch down there wouldn't, if anything, that would disrupt that.
No, see, I don't think that's what this is.
No, it doesn't add. It doesn't.
No,
add.
What he's saying is, so maybe we've been imagining different things the whole time. What I understood Josh to be saying was that it's a shot that makes your soft penis always its best.
No. It makes you, when you're hard, always at your best.
Okay, I see what you're saying. You're
okay.
saying
Well, that's different.
You're saying that the purpose of the P shot is that, you know, we all have, every guy knows what their like maximum fighting weight is, and then they also know what they walk around at.
Right. Okay. Right. Okay.
What a randomized session, what they're going to be punching at, right? And what Josh is saying is that the purpose of the P shot is that you're always at 100%.
And this is something you take one time, or you have to consistently get shots.
I think it's like every 6 months. Is that right? 6 months? 6 months. Every 6 months. Yeah. No.
So let me ask you this, Rob. If it was 100% effective and safe, you still wouldn't.
I mean, if it was 100% effective and safe, and I never had to worry about, like, never being anything less than 100%, yeah, sure, of course. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I looked into this.
So let's say 95%, not worth it.
Probably not worth it, honestly, just because, you know, whatever, because the thing is, I don't need to be at peak performance every every single time I have an erection. It's like there's more to it than that. You know what I mean? I think a lot of men
I keep a
this.
logbook of my erections.
Yeah, exactly.
Just so, because I want to see the trends, you know. And
because also, what about the people who are like, you know, for whatever reason they can't get the shot, and like then is that going to crush them psychologically? Like, are they going to feel inadequate because they haven't?
You lose your job. You lose your job, or you lose your insurance, and they won't cover, and you can't get the shot, and then
because they're $2,000 a pop. I feel like my wife would be more angry at me for spending $2,000.
Or say
every 6 months.
Say you get the shot, and then you realize that your problem wasn't physical; it was mental.
Exactly. I mean, I think that 99% of the time it's going to be mental and emotional and psychological, not physical. I guess that's what I'm getting at. I mean,
look, that's absolutely true. I'm gonna get real personal one time. About 2 years ago, I was going to sleep with this girl for the first time, and I couldn't get it up. And I remember, and this was after maybe 20 minutes of foreplay and all of this other stuff, and I just couldn't. And I was so ashamed. And I remember her being like, "Oh, it's okay." Like, she was so understanding and caring and like not at all judging me at all. And then immediately, it was like, "I'm a man." It was all mental. And I don't know why this particular person. I think I respected her too much. Seriously. I
understand what you're saying, Brian.
So bad, huh?
I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, like I wanted to do good so bad, and I was put all this pressure on myself. And then when it didn't happen, it just made it worse. And when she was like, "It's fine," I was like, "Yes." You know, I don't know what it was. So that's true. It could be mental. Anyway, I feel like we've talked about a lot of dicks on here with my sister. So let's try to answer an email while we on here.
Surely.
Oh yeah. So actually, you know what? Actually, let me address another moment. Earlier in the pod, Raven was like, "Yeah, your nephew. I think he might be your son." So people don't know. Raven is my sister-in-law. She's married to my older brother for, I don't even know how fucking long, 20 years or something?
18 years.
So that's what I mean. Everybody in the family always jokes that the little one is my, because he acts just like me. Anyway,
yes.
Hi, Brian, Rob. Just finished listening to episode 60. So you how many behind? You're 6 episodes behind?
No, he's 1 episode behind.
Oh man!
I mean, he's caught up because he hasn't traveled into the future to watch this episode.
Okay. Good episode. Only thing I wanted to correct was the topic of Tucker Carlson's view of, oh, God damn it. This is why I don't like talking about politics on the pod or talking about political people. I don't mind politics. Of the 2020 electronic election. Tucker never agreed with the idea that the 2020 election was rigged electronically. He actually asked for receipts from Giuliani and Trump's other top lawyers. Based on that, he denounced that there was electronic election meddling. The only thing he had issue with was the Delhi withholding of Hunter Biden's laptop information. What is this thing with Hunter Biden's laptops? I don't follow enough of this to know what the fuck that means. The only thing he had, big fan, always enjoying listening to the Advice Champ and Rob. Keep doing what you do. What is on Hunter Biden's laptop?
All right, I can break this down for you. So basically, Hunter Biden, who is the people's champion, because he cops crack in Skid Row and has sex with hookers. He had a whole bunch of incriminating photos and basically like naked pictures of himself and stuff like that on a laptop that he brought in to a repair shop, and then he left it at the repair shop. And the guy who owns the repair shop turned the contents of that laptop over to the Trump campaign. He also turned them over to the FBI, I believe. So this was supposed to be like a smoking gun and like a big embarrassing thing for the Biden campaign as we're going into the home stretch of the 2020 presidential election. The photos and videos leaked onto Twitter and other social media platforms, and the Biden campaign issued a takedown request to Twitter because it's against Twitter's terms of service to post anything that was any assets that were procured from a hack, and also anything that is considered like revenge porn. So like naked pictures of people against their wishes.
So how does that affect the election?
Well, it affects the election in a couple different ways. The first is that obviously the assumption is that it could swing the election against Biden if it embarrassed him that his son is on tape smoking crack or having sex with hookers. The other thing is that they tried to make like Matt Taibbi tried to turn this into a big like shady thing that the Biden campaign had like a back channel to Twitter and that they were silencing.
This is so boring.
Shit. Yeah,
I don't understand the people that like this is what you because I think I talk about this a lot. There was a time where this was my life, where I would get up every morning listening to political talking heads, and I would go to bed every night listening to political talking heads. And then I found comedy, and I realized, oh, these people are all fucking crazy. Don't get me wrong. I don't think that they're all evil, but I think that they're all well aware that they're playing a game and they're trying to win the game, even though it's a game that never ends. It's like EverQuest. They all just keep trying to level up, but and they don't give a fuck how it affect your life. But I just remember catching it, like, because I told you I used to listen to Rachel Maddow every night, and then Norman Goldman and Ron Hartman every morning. And then one day it just hit me. I was like, oh, these people are just telling me to be angry all the time or afraid. Every episode would start with "You should be outraged," and it's like I just want the information. I don't like all of these storylines and talking points. It's like because I could have gone the rest of my life without knowing anything about Hunter Biden's laptop.
Right.
That shit just makes me want to, drink cyanide. It's like It feels like you're pouring poison into my ear. It's like I'd rather go.
It's just. It's such a nothing burger. It's such a waste of time. But I do want to address what this email brings up about Tucker, because the issue with Tucker wasn't that he was full-throatedly like promoting this conspiracy theory about the Dominion voting machines. It's that in order to give himself cover, he was doing the "I'm just asking questions" line, which is in some ways even more infuriating. I'd rather somebody just lie than throw a bunch of bullshit like, "Well, I know. Do we know? How do we know?" Like, fuck you.
Or I get it. Or it's like I ask the question on Twitter and then I go on my show and go, "People are asking questions." Yeah, I know. I hate them all, dude. Like, I don't hate them personally, but I just hate that their class, their guild, whatever that profession is. I just hate what it stands for.
The chattering class.
The chattering class, I like that. Yeah, that's gonna be the name of this episode. The chattering class. Actually, I mean, can we possibly talk about penises this much and name the episode "The Chattering Class"?
Yes, we can do whatever we want, Brian. We're an independent media outlet.
Maybe we go with the broken James Bond title, "The Girth Is Not Enough," or something like that. Okay, one more. Maybe we can actually get away from sex with this next email. From Cameron. What is the trick to getting tickets online for the club? Oh, this is about the Comedy Mothership.
No, skip this. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I don't fucking know. I don't buy comedy tickets. I haven't bought a ticket to a comedy show in a decade. I don't. Do people cheat? Are there robots? I have no idea, man. I do know that they do hold tickets to the Mothership. They hold, I want to say, 20 tickets or 30 tickets for walk-up only. Just so people that are in town, like there's still a chance you can get one. At least I know they do that for Kill Tony. I do know that they also have, there's like a standby light outside, like the hot light at Krispy Kreme. So, because a lot of times, believe it or not, people buy tickets and don't show up. So if you don't show up within so much time, your ticket goes back up on sale. If you get kicked out, the hot light turns on. There's room for one more, that kind of shit. So you can roll the dice. I mean, I don't know, but I can't tell you how to get a ticket. All right, next one. Did we do this one?
Check out the Black History segment one. That was pretty good.
I just saw that, yeah. What's up, OG? Got to tell you about Joseph Bologna, also known as the Chevalier de Saint Jorge. Did I say that right? The
Chevalier de Saint George.
De Saint George. Born to a plantation owner, father, and enslaved African mother on the date of December 25th, 1745, he was not only a skilled violinist and conductor, but also a masterful fencer and boxer. He is often referred to as Black Mozart, with some historians saying Mozart actually copied Bologna's work as they had lived together for a short period of time in Paris in their youth. My short email can't begin to do this guy justice, but this is a rare piece of mostly positive Black history. Well, I appreciate that, man. He was a true Renaissance
Brian,
man.
I think there is a movie out about him.
What was it called?
Chevrolet, I believe.
Chevrolet? Oh, is that how you supposed to? Is that how you say it?
I may not be pronouncing it.
Chevalier.
Yeah.
Chevalier. Okay, so let's check that out. I'm gonna check that out. He was a true Renaissance
there's
man.
a movie out.
So let me say his name one more time, completely correctly. It is Joseph Bologna. The Chevalier de Saint Jorge. No, that's Jorge's Mexican. Chevalier de Saint George. Saint George.
Saint George.
Fuck the French, dude. You stupid names. Okay.
Too many vowels.
Yeah, he was a true Renaissance man.
There is a movie, 2022.
And what's it called?
2022. Chevalier.
Chevalier. Yeah.
Chevalier.
Okay. He was a true Renaissance. What is it on?
I'm gonna watch this.
What is it on?
Looks like it was a theatrical release. Let me see if it's streaming anywhere.
It's got to be streaming on something by now. Hopefully, it's not on like Tubi or some shit. He was a true Renaissance man, excelling in multiple areas of the arts and sports during a time when being a Black man meant being second class at best. He was a member of the court of King Louis the 16th and was appointed as the leader of the Royal Orchestra of the King, becoming the first person of African descent to hold such a prominent position. He also led the country's first Black battalion. He also founded the first musical school for people of color in France and was a prominent figure in the fight for abolition. I highly recommend you check out Black Mozart, Joseph Bologna Chevalier, Joseph Bologna Chevalier de Saint Jorge. Man, whatever, nigga. By Helen Salterer. I guess that's a book. It's a great source on this man's life. He was sent to death for rubbing shoulders with the wealthy, but made it out by the skin on his dick. Pause. Anyway, this dude was the shit. Highly recommend you peep. Cheers. So that was sent to us in January?
Yeah.
Guess I should also note his wealthy slave-owning dad left him nothing when he passed, not a dollar nor a dime, though he did teach him how to be a gentleman. So then this most recent email we got is, I got to tell you, so he wrote the same thing again. Okay, yeah. Well, I appreciate that, UD. I love getting those little Black History snippets. I think he perfectly summarized it. It did kind of end in tragedy a little bit. Racism always pops up at the end of these stories, by the way. There's always like, they died, even when it looks like it's not. They're like, oh, they died of stomach cancer at an old age in a hospital, that they caught because they lived by some racist plant that put arsenic in the bologna or something. It's always... Yeah, but I always appreciate the Black segments. People that are new to the YouTube audience, when I was audio only and I was very motivated and did all the work and research, I would do these Black History segments on each show. In fact, some shows were named after that. Actually, the very first episode is about Bayard Rustin, if I'm not mistaken, right? Who was the very first audio only episode is about Bayard Rustin, who was one of the key orchestrators in the civil rights movement. But they kind of kept him in the background because he was gay. So
they bumped him from the Civil Rights March on Washington. He was originally going to be like the keynote speaker, and they bumped him because they didn't want a gay man to be the face of it.
Yeah, they didn't want, when Martin Luther was like, I have a dream, they didn't want somebody going, slay, bitch. So they cut him out. Yeah. All right, guys, that's a good stopping point. That's been episode 61 of BS with Brian Simpson. Y'all know how to support us, because we told you at the beginning, but you can follow me on all socials at BS Comedian Comedy Frequency. Don't forget to sign up for, to go ahead and check out Apocalypse Soon with Kevin Tinkin and Eddie Pepitone, the Josh Potter Show, and that's everything, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all things. Once again, thank you to my guest, my sister Raven. I hope you had fun. I hope it was worth all of the... Because y'all don't know this. We're all in 3 different places. Rob is in California. I'm in Texas. Raven is in Maryland. And so we made this work somehow. I hope it turns out right. Yeah, I think we're gonna do it.
It's gonna turn out great, Brian.
Yeah. Which means we've once again revolutionized the podcast game. Yeah. So, yeah. Thanks everybody for tuning in. I'll see y'all next time.